Like our beautification committee, we start right on time. Good evening and welcome as we celebrate the beautification, your efforts in really making our town just look beautifully. And that supports our goal as well, to make Stratford as beautiful as possible. And we're hoping that by your efforts, everyone else will follow along and be in your place the following year. So if you have neighbors or friends, anyone you know that are working as hard as you did with your property, we hope you nominate them next year and celebrate their success as we're doing that for you this evening. Beautification Committee, this is our 18th year of celebrating everyone's efforts. And for our awards today, we'd like to talk a little bit about what the Beautification Committee does. We identify areas in town, and it's very helpful if you help us with that as well, or contact the mayor's office as needed, to identify areas that really need some special effort, a little extra care. And that's one of the tasks that we do. We also support Project Green Sweep. Project Green Sweep is held on the last Saturday of April, and sometimes due to tide changes, we might do that in May. And what is Green Sweep? Green Sweep is a project where we ask everyone in town to come out and help us in some way in beautifying the town, even if it's just sweeping your front driveway, the front of your house. If you find an area that you feel is blighted, that you go and maybe dedicate an hour or two and help to remediate the area. So this is something that we have been doing for an extended period of time. We do this in conjunction with a number of other organizations, many of the boat clubs, and you might have noticed a lot of the debris being removed. We find things like refrigerators, stoves, etc., tires, or whatever. So if you happen to be on the water and it's nice and clean, it's because of the efforts of everybody helping with Project Green Sweep. What we're celebrating tonight are the Beautification Awards. We recognize you as having the most wonderful curb appeal for our town. And we're hoping that as people drive past your property and they see your particular sign as a winner, that this will encourage them to do the same with their property. Something else that we do is maintain and design gardens around town. If you look at our town hall honor gardens, that's something that this committee works on diligently. Last year, we designed the gardens around town and around town hall, and we also maintain them. We have a daffodil project, which you will be celebrating as well this evening. We will be handing you one of our little houses filled with daffodils. There are many towns in Connecticut that are daffodil towns. We are one of them, and we hope that by your planting the daffodils, you can help us herald in spring. One of the things we do, we donate bags like this to anyone in town, and we hope that you plant them in October, early November, and then celebrate their beauty in springtime. So we have a focus. Last year it was a historic district, and this year we're hoping that we continue our Main Street project and that we include many of the businesses. So if you know of anyone that could possibly plant some daffodils in the front yard, either come to the Pumpkin Festival or stop at Town Hall, stop at the library, and pick up a bag of daffodils and plant them. We also help and provide guidance to a variety of organizations. One of them last year, we helped Birdseye Center with students in the afternoon. We donated tools, we donated daffodils, and we helped them plant and show a success with a lovely garden in the springtime. We also consult. Many of our members went to the Stratford Library and helped with the landscape design. Some of our members are master gardeners. They continue their education. Others are volunteers who've been gardeners all their lives and know so much about so many special aspects of gardening. So we are always there to help and consult with others. This year, the mayor asked us to help with the tree replacement project. As you know, UI cut down many trees, and many of our streets are kind of depleted of beautiful ornamental trees. So we're working now on a committee and designing a plan to replenish those areas. We also have the holiday lighting project where we identify houses and people vote on those houses. We also provide cards that we put in mailboxes as we drive around town, celebrating everyone's effort to make our town a wonderful place that you can enjoy during the holiday time. So you might see some of those pictures in the newspapers. You will meet our committee members in just a few minutes when they come up and call your name. So the protocol for this evening will be, as we call your name, we ask you to come up. We will present you with your award. We will also give you a little Dutch house with daffodils that we hope you plant. And at the end of our program, we hope that you join us in a little light refreshment, but also take a sign to put on your front lawn. And that's really important. We hope that encourages other people to really work hard and be here in this room next year and win the same awards. This evening, unfortunately, the mayor could not be with us. He normally helps to pass out our awards. But it is my pleasure to ask our representative from the 122nd District, Ben McGordy, to come up, and he will help to pass out the awards today. All right. This morning, Donna. Afternoon, evening. Come on. Present the award, Donna.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. My name is Donna Caserta, and I've been on the committee about 4 years. I think this is my fourth Beautification Awards program. When I first joined the committee, on my resume, I said to them, honestly, I don't know the difference between daffodils and dandelions, except that they're both yellow. What I have learned since then is unbelievable. I am so blessed to work with these brilliant women that dedicate many, many hours to this committee, and a lot of elbow grease, and a lot of dirt under our fingernails, but it is a wonderful committee. We are always looking for volunteers, so anybody who wants to play in the dirt with us, please let us know. We'll be happy to have us. Up first tonight, the first house to be honored is 53 Ashwood Terrace. We had to, last night, as I was writing up what I wanted to say about the houses I had nominated or was writing about, I thought, how am I going to start this? But there was this commercial on TV, and it talked about the pursuit of perfection. I think it was a car commercial, but I heard the pursuit of perfection, and I thought, that's what I'm going to use. I don't think that this home needs to be in pursuit anymore. I think it has reached its level of perfection. The essence of beauty has been perfected on this house. Everything is perfectly balanced. There is a blend of traditional, ornamental, and a nod to the sea with the seagrasses. Everywhere you look, there is something to catch your eye. Every corner of the yard has something, yet it is not overdone. The most beautiful addition to this perfect scene is the proud display of our country's flag. The Beautification Committee is happy to award this home Best in Neighborhood to Mr. and Mrs. Connors. Oh. Keep up the good work. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Barbara Julian, and I have only been on the committee. This is my second year, and I'm very proud to have done this. It's a wonderful opportunity to help our town recognize all the beautiful homes that have been surrounding us, and the people, like I said, Christine Griffin had said, it's contagious. So hopefully everyone will take a little cue and have everyone else follow, so it's great. I chose actually, we all chose, that the nominating committee chose 14 Chelsea Street in Stratford. And the reason was because it was just a charming little space in this beautiful neighborhood it's like a shining penny. It's the only one that was on a very, very busy street, but yet at the same time, it had a private hedge and it had a space of intimacy. It has a beautiful little picket fence and the little Belgian block around the yard and around the sidewalk just gave it a nice, neat look. They used a nice use of ivy as an established look, old world look, and it was really nice. I mean, I was really happy to see such a shiny penny in that neighborhood. So thank you very much. And you, number 14 Chelsea, Patricia Maldonado, Maldonado, you best, Maldonado. Thank you very much. Best in Neighborhood 2016. Are you here? No? Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good evening again. I'm co-chair of the Beautification Committee, Christine Griffin, and I'm Plan B tonight because the two young men who were supposed to award this, to give this award to their parents are home rather ill, throwing up. So I'm Plan B. I'm the two boys. They had a wonderful soccer game, a very challenging one that they unfortunately lost, but I think with the heat and everything else, it affected them. Before I continue, I just want to share a few things. You might look at some of the homes and you think, well, how did they win? Why did they win, et cetera? We have criteria for that as to what we look for at curb appeal, but we also try to identify all the districts in Stratford, from the north end to the south end, all the different districts. So people nominate, they write in letters, they go online to do this. Some of the committee members, we get in a car, and for months we drive around in the springtime and try to identify areas and homes. And we also ask our councilmen to do that as well. So it's my pleasure this evening, since the boys are not here, to talk a little about 637 Prospect Drive. Parents work very, very hard at providing a beautiful lush green lawn. Their lamppost is filled with 3 different varieties of clematis that bloom till the first frost. Surrounding them in the springtime, you will find some grape hyacinths that add a beautiful, rich purple color. Following that, we have lovely daffodils and tulips, and then a little ariope, a little contrast of green and white in the summertime. What you don't see are 2 beautiful chairs that also complement the calla lilies that, not the callas, I think 2 lilies in the front. I can't remember their names right now. But behind that, the whole building, the whole home is surrounded by a beautiful rhododendron and azaleas that bloom throughout the spring. There's a lovely crab apple tree on the side, and that is surrounded with a variety of vinca and impatiens. So it's my pleasure right now to award this to Christine and John Higgins, and I believe just Christine is here this evening. So congratulations. All right. Jen?
Hello, I'm Jen Riley Young, and I'm new to the committee this year, so I'm honored and a little bit, I guess, feeling like everybody else knows so much more about gardening than I do, but I love it, so it's a wonderful thing to be part of the nomination process, and we welcome all citizens to nominate as well. This award goes to 280 Weber Street, and this is the best in neighborhood. This property owner has inspired us with a look of home, a respite from the day, clear of clutter and the distractions of the day. The landscaping is not overdone or over manicured, yet it is very pleasing to the eye and very neatly kept. The stonework adds a beautiful, modern, but classic touch to the yard and to the raised garden. You'll see there that circular garden where there are roses and various green perennials. It is also decorated with a lovely statue of the Mother Mary. The feeling is warm, welcoming and warm and spiritually serene. It's a place that feels good and a home in which to feel pride. The 2016 Beautification Awards are given to those homes with beautiful gardens and extra curbside appeal. This award, Best in Neighborhood, is for the home that best brings beauty to its own neighborhood. We want to thank you, Irene Stone, for lifting the overall quality and beauty of outdoor life in our neighborhoods and our town. You're doing lovely work. Are you here? Congratulations. Next is Anne.
Thank you very much. My name is Ann Ferris, and I've been on this committee for, I believe, about 21 years, 22 years, and it's always a pleasure to be here and present these awards to our wonderful people in Stratford who have given so much to help beautify our town. 214 Laurel Street in Lordship was nominated and selected as this year's winner of the Best View from the Porch Award from the Beautification Committee. The property is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Peter Marino. The yard, as you can see, is very colorful with numerous plantings of annuals and perennials. There are beautiful side gardens with mature maple trees in the yard, and the entire yard is well maintained for all to see as you pass by. There is a very attractive stone walkway leading up to the front door, which is welcoming to everyone. This property is certainly deserving of the 2016 Beautification Award from the Stratford Beautification Committee. Will Peter and Laura please come forward to accept the award for the Best View from the Porch from the Stratford Beautification Committee? Thank you very much. 215, another on Laurel Street, right across the street. This colorful yard is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Michael Dorrigan. As you can see, there are many annuals allowing for lots of color within a beautiful circular garden in the middle of the front yard. The backdrop for this color are several large evergreens which help show off the garden. Paving stones line the yard, which help to bring out the very green grass coloring in spite of our dry summer we have all had this year. And this beauty is there for all to see who walk or ride by Laurel Street in Lordship. Would Mr. and Mrs. Michael Donegan please come forward to accept their 2016 Best Easy on the Eyes Award from the Stratford Beautification Committee? Tina Manis to present the next award.
So I have it all on technology, but I'm doing all the photos, so can't do both, but I will do it. Welcome tonight. Before I talk about the home that was nominated, I just want to say again, what a wonderful opportunity this is to be a part of the committee. As a counselor for the Stratford Town Council, I was able to choose committees we wanted to take part of, and my predecessor, Mr. Paul Hoydick, was a part of this committee, as was Stephanie Phillips. They served on the committee and were part of that, and it was my first choice. I said, I have to be part of beautification. I had met Miss Patricia Walking years prior, and I knew that the committee did all this wonderful work with green sweep and the beautiful gardens outside. So it truly is an amazing thing. If you have any time to volunteer your help and effort to these women and men that do this work, please, please, please find the time to do that. It is very rewarding and it's very friendly. There's a lot of good things that happen and great donuts at Green Sweep, so it's a really nice thing. So this home at 276 Patterson Avenue is truly a special addition to the neighborhood. With countless flowers and lovely splashes of color, this home stands out on Patterson Avenue. Down to the small watering can, bursting with flowers, to the bright yellow mailbox, a tribute to our daffodils, I'm sure. This home garden landscape is warm, beautiful, and bursting with color and energy. It stands out as an example of the welcoming and charming beauty that embodies Stratford's spirit and small-town values. As you can see, it is absolutely breathtaking, and it is well manicured, well maintained, and always looking very, very special. So I think we all loved the mailbox and the watering can most of all, and I wanted to take this opportunity to invite Kevin and Margaret Mariconda up to receive their award, and on behalf of the Beautification Committee, thank you. There you go. Take a picture. One more. There you go. Thank you so much. Got it.
Good evening. I'm Patricia Ritchie, and I've been with the committee about a year. I've been digging a lot of holes and planting bulbs and weeding and clipping, and nobody really told me that that was a part of the job, but it's been fun. I'm here this evening to award Best Use of a Hillside to Mr. and Mrs. Zajac. There's a red witch's ball at the side of the driveway, which draws the eye to the house on the hill. It's kind of hidden up there, but you can't miss that witch's ball, which you do not see in the photo, unfortunately. There are bits of red and white begonia and lilies at the front. Large embedded boulders and ledge are in the property, which they had to work around and plant around, which makes it not easy to do. Mountain pinks cascade over the walls. There's a lace leaf maple, some dogwood, and spreading grasses. Liatris and hosta are companions in the garden. There's a container garden along the top of the driveway wall. And I noticed that there are solar lights sprinkled throughout the property, which unfortunately I couldn't admire because it was daytime when I was there. But all in all, it's a tremendous effort to do such a beautiful job on a difficult property on a hillside. So congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Zajac. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Did a great job. Next up is Florence.
Good evening.
I hope you're all enjoying our presentation this evening. Believe me, a lot of hard work goes into selecting who you're going to nominate. But I am here tonight to present an award to a charmer. It almost wants you to stop in and have tea. The yard consists mainly of colorful annuals and small foundation shrubs, with two elegant evergreens to the entrance of the home. The emerald green lawn surrounding this home is meticulous and beautifully maintained. It's with great pleasure that I award Best to the Tudor Charmer, to Elaine Lech. Yes, she is a kid. She's not here this evening, so our congratulations to her. We'll have to take an award, and that'll sit there. Okay, thank you. And now it's, I didn't take my card. Rita. Rita.
That's okay. Good evening. My name is Rita Sakia. I've been a member of the Beautification Committee for 5 years now. And I have to echo what Donna and everyone else has already said about this committee, tirelessly working. Everyone, especially Donna and Christine, push whatever agenda that we throw at them. So they're very, very hard work, and everyone works very, very hard, and we all get along very well. And so I'm here tonight actually to present the award for 35 Surrey Lane for Best Shade Garden. I'm not going to be able to do this property any justice. You have to actually go by and see it. But upon turning the corner of Surrey Lane, your eye is immediately drawn to the unique, both the unique contemporary style home and the care the homeowners have taken with the landscaping to include numerous shade-loving perennials, which actually, you don't see it here, but it wraps around the house, goes down the side of the house, right down to the street. It's absolutely beautiful. There are well-pruned, mature trees and shrubs surrounding the property, and the lawn is very well maintained. I didn't see any weeds at all. And the overall look of the property is a major attraction in the neighborhood. So the Beautification Committee thanks Robert and Catherine Sabrillo for helping to beautify Stratford. They could not be with us tonight, but we will make sure they get their award. Thank you.
Hello again. This is the award for Best Homage to the Beach 2016, 711 King Street, to Christine McCarthy. This home is in my neighborhood, around the block from my home. And the owner, Christine McCarthy, has given her home a special, very pretty and distinctive look. The property catches one's attention with its sunny and summery disposition. The flowers are typical, beautiful blooms one might find near shoreline homes, and they alone make you feel at once at a beach house. The large red rose bushes and hydrangea line the fence, and aromatic purple lavender, yellow coreopsis, which you can't see in this picture because it hadn't quite bloomed yet, and the white roses flank the walkway. Geraniums and pansies both are in the flower boxes. To add to the charm of this home, there are white Adirondack chairs up front whose pillows have pretty floral or red, white, and blue designs alternating, I've noticed. The small hydrangea painting on the front of the house and the sand dollar charm on the front door just add final sweet touches that say, I love the beach. Congratulations on your best homage to the beach, Christine. Well done. Thank you for beautifying our neighborhood. And next is Gail.
Good evening. I'm Gail Lichio, and I've been with the committee now for, I think this is my 3rd year. Isn't that awful? Time flies. I can't remember anything anymore. But regardless, I enjoy doing very much the work of the committee. I'm an avid gardener. I am here to present to you the best park-like setting. And when I came about in this house, you can't hear me? You're probably better off. You know that, come on now. Needless to say, anyone who grew up in the 50s and the 60s and went to Storytown and Gaslight Village in Lake George, the minute I saw this house, it brought back my childhood memories. I looked at this and I thought, oh my goodness, that is just the epitome with the gables, the beautiful landscaping, the design. It just reminded me so much of a perfect bygone era. It's got such style, but yet at the same time, it's simple but beautiful. It doesn't clash. Everything is blended, the symmetry, the architecture. It's just a beautiful home. This reminds me of a vacation in Lake George in Stratford. And I say kudos to Mr. and Mrs. Douglas Wolford. Are they here tonight?
Hello again. This is the Best Riverside Dream 2016, and our owner is Gregory D'Agostino. Thank you so much for everything you did. This house is a very, very charming cottage, I would say, on the river. It has a wonderful use of color. The teal blue shutters with the starfish are whimsical and fun. The hydrangeas coordinate with the shutters and color, and the use of perennials and annuals together for color make it delightful. The grass is kept beautifully green and well manicured. The seagrasses are graceful. We are very grateful that you had planted 2 trees on the street. It's something Stratford's been trying to do, and they were very well placed. We've lost a lot of trees in Stratford in the last couple of years, and it was pleasing to see. The home looks like a wonderful place to live on the river, and what you can't see is probably what the real charm is in the backyard on the river with that beautiful view. But thank you so much for everything you did, Gregory D'Agostino. Beautiful, thank you. This is for you. Thank you very much.
This award is for 1189 Main Street. When I drive down Main Street, excuse me, towards Lordship, I love it when I have to stop at the light at Elm and Main, because that is where 1189 Main is. The first thing one notices about this house is the clean white picket fence surrounding the property. Then you can't help but notice the burst of color in the yard within the fence. The many hanging pots are overflowing with bright red, white, and pink impatiens. I love the way the well-trimmed green shrubs behind the house make the colors pop. I wanted to just sit. Can you see the picture with the bench in there? when I saw this house, it was a really, really hot day. I see it all the time, but it was a really hot day. And I thought, oh, I just want to sit on that bench in the shade for a couple of minutes. But I thought they might wonder who's sitting in their yard. So I rang the doorbell and introduced myself and met Mr. Riaz. This yard is a wonderful example of container gardening, and Mr. and Mrs. Riaz are the perfect example of why the Beautification Committee loves recognizing our neighbors for their efforts. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see if we can get it right this time. This is our Best Cottage Garden Award. As you can see, it's an adorable little home. It's got such charm, such whimsy. What really attracted me to this yard was the fact that it was just so perfectly arranged. I love the symmetry of color, of function, form, everything that you look at in a property. It just exudes warmth and charm. It's an adorable little house. Let me just see what I had written here, because I'm blind as a bat. Let's see. Yeah, you can almost imagine like the little squirrels and the birds and whatnot, all the woodland creatures just taking form in the yard and having a good old time for themselves, you know, just hopping around and enjoying whatever food they can find. But it's just so perfect and so whimsical, it's gorgeous. And congratulations to Susan Stafford. Is she here this evening? Thank you so much. Beautiful. Well done.
Well, here I am again to present to a beautiful, beautiful home. It truly is a very elegant home. It's only enhanced by its picturesque landscaping, which consists mainly of beautiful, elegant, and waving type of shrubs. It really enhances this home. There's also colorful annuals on the porch. The lawn is impeccable and so very well maintained. We're very happy to have this home in Lordship. It's also my pleasure to award the Best Coastal Property to Daniel Julian. Yeah. Oh, he is here. I was told he wasn't going to be here tonight. Oh, I was told. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Michael and Dan are my son.
My brother Dan couldn't be here to accept the award, but we're here to gladly accept it. Thank you.
And I heartily agree to all you said. Gorgeous.
Well,
Beautiful.
we love it. Thank you very much.
Now, Patricia.
The next award goes to Mr. and Mrs. Hada. Did I pronounce that right? Or is it Hada? I have to tell you that I went over to their house the other day to make some notes. And first of all, as we all know in real estate, it's location, location, location. They are at the far end, the very end of a cul-de-sac, which right away, you love it because it's so, so private. In fact, Louis and I were talking, and we both decided that we can't really claim a private house unless one can walk out their back door naked. And he can if he wants to. The best thing, although everything about the property is terrific, but I have to tell you that this guy built all the stone walls himself. He is not a stonemason. He got some books, he talked to people, and he built these walls that are unbelievable. And all of the stone came out of his property. And it's not just a plain straight wall. It's a curvy wall. It's a wall with stairs in it. And my understanding is, in October and Halloween, they plant pumpkins all over the stairs on that wall. In addition to this incredible work that he has done over the years to build this wall, there are specimen dogwood trees, which he also told me were there. He did not plant them. They came with the property. They're native dogwoods, which means really these trees will probably not get any of the diseases that some dogwoods get. So we have dogwoods. We have a stockade fencing along one whole side of the property and a lattice fencing along the other side of the property. There are aloe plants, which are spiky forms amongst the juniper, daylilies, and large ferns. And all together, it is the most incredible property that you don't even really know is there. It's up off James Farms Roads, and I've never been up there. And I've been in Stratford for 16 years. So I welcome you to come up, Louis and Marcia, and I would love... I would love for Louis to just give a little short speech about his stone building abilities. Yeah. Go ahead. It's definitely, honestly.
Well, people asked me where I got all the stones from for the stone wall, and I said, just dig a hole. No matter what I tried to plant, there was a rock, and the pile was bigger than the hole. Thank you very much.
Stones along the driveway now.
I know, we can't stop. Anyway, next up we have, who is next? Gail. Yeah. This one want to stay there.
Okay. Now we're at our best corner property at 65 River Valley Road, Richard and Barbara Whalen. And this is another example of pride of ownership. This is a gorgeous piece of property from the winding walkway to the side yard, the backyard. They have the most spectacular fountain in the backyard that it just so soothing, the bubbling sound on a quiet summer day. If you look at every portion of the yard, the symmetry, the gorgeous ambiance, it exudes, it's just gorgeous. It's an expanded, picturesque cape, and it just tells you that these people definitely care about their property and they are an asset to Stratford. I want to thank them very much for all their efforts. And please come up, Richard and Barbara Whalen. Oh, okay. Well, that's quite all right. Thank you very much for your efforts. Wonderful.
Recently, and this kind of wonderful to get recognition. Very much appreciated.
You want to come over here and speak?
But a couple of weeks ago, a parent came to live with a neighbor of ours. Her husband's in a skilled nursing facility here in Connecticut. And I'm sure it's a very difficult time for her. And I had never met her before, but she stopped in front of the house and just said, I just want to tell you, when I come by the house, it just lifts my day. And that just made it all worthwhile. So, thank you.
Okay, it's me again. This property, when Gail and I always drive around together looking for properties to nominate, and we never know who lives in these houses. It's all kind of, anonymous because we're just driving around. And until I met Mr. Reyes by knocking on his door, I didn't know who he was. So that's how it is for all of these. Well, Gail and I had been out for several hours one day nominating houses, and we had both just said, let's stop. We've already got 6 houses, and, we were tired, and our husbands were probably wondering when dinner was going to be. And so we started to turn around, and we turned into Oakview Drive. And what caught our attention was the brass lanterns on the stone wall. So I said to Gail, well, let's just drive in and, and see. Well, as soon as we drove in, we knew we had a winner. This house is beyond words. When you look into the driveway, you see the island. It's a rock garden island with these big rocks. It's got evergreen trees, it's got deciduous trees, it's got lower shrubs, it's got flowers, it's got these big rocks. And it circles around, and it's a light-colored gravel driveway, which just enhances the colors of everything around it. And as you come up on the side, it's also all these big boulders and just these beautiful plants and roses and color galore. It is just a spectacular residence to look at. In front of the house, the plantings are so well balanced. There's a tree on this side that you can't see in this that reminds me of something you'd see in a Disney cartoon or a Disney movie with the green, the way it's green and just grows out. It truly is a beautiful house. The way they have used the rocks and the flow of the land, the way the land kind of goes down, it's just remarkable. It is a beautiful house. So I would like to congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Richard Dowling for Best Residence Property 2016. Christine?
The last couple of years, I decided to concentrate on commercial properties because I know sometimes it's rather difficult to maintain areas, especially on busy roads like Lordship Boulevard. Oh, we're on Main Street, not wrong property. Wendy's. I'm very familiar with Wendy's over several years with 5 grandsons. The oldest being 18, so you can imagine how many times I've been there for lunch and dinner. And when you drive through Wendy's or drive past it, you never see any litter anywhere. When you think of a fast food place and people walking out all the time with bags, etc., it is neat as a pin. The front used to have Stelladora lilies that bloomed all summer long. In order to do that, someone had to go along and deadhead and do that, and obviously somebody did. Now they have beautiful yews that they trim into what look like tall ilex bushes. On the side, you will see yews again, formed into lovely shrubs. And on the opposite side, where you park your car, the same thing. So it is my pleasure to welcome the representatives from Wendy's. They were an organization, I should say a commercial organization, that we had nominated before and looked at, but over the years you have consistently maintained the area and made it enjoyable for all your neighbors, not just the business, but also the apartments and adjacent homes in the area. So we really congratulate you on that, and thank you for doing that. Reminder, I did see someone sneak out in the back, but we don't want you to leave without out your sign, and we hope you display that. So if you have to leave sooner, please come up, and Donna or someone from the committee will hand it to you. All right, next. All right. Jen?
Hello again. This is the award for the Best Commuter Restaurant 2016. It's at 2520 Main Street. This is the Station House Wine Bar and Grill. And the business owners are Kimberly and Tony Fideleo. So they have done a really nice job of making an appealing, what I call storefront look to one of the busiest places in town. And to what Christine's comments were about litter you expect to find in an area where people are getting their coffee, coming and going, you would expect a mess. But it's always tidy and picked up and really quite nice. There's beautiful outdoor seating there with arranged with rows of tables with chairs during the nicer climate. The chairs have patterned red and white cushions. And it looks really sharp with the backdrop of the tall doors and the painted red door to the restaurant. There's also the umbrellas and potted geraniums, which add another sort of splash of color and style to the look of the place. I would like to mention that even without these decorative beautification efforts, just keeping the place swept, garbage picked up, and weeds pulled is so appreciated to the townspeople. Not all businesses do this pretty basic thing, so we'd like to thank you for setting this amazing example. Keep it up. Congratulations to Kimberly, Tony, and your staff. It is you.
It's me again. I live in the north end of Stratford. I've been there 16 years. So I've seen some big changes at that end of town, including watching a former residence burn, big fire. And that property remained empty for quite some time, I believe, before the Ganem law firm bought it and transformed it and did an absolutely incredible, amazing job. I am not kidding. This is a really, really difficult property. It's on a very, very steep hill, and it's on a corner. So he has to consider what he's going to do to hold back that earth and zoom around the corner and do the same thing there as well. The property is right opposite CVS on Hawley Lane. And if you remember what it looked like before, that will make it even more incredible as to what you're looking at now. When you look at the property, I think the first thing that you notice is these gigantic, humongous boulders. And you say, how did they get those there? You know, it's like the Egyptian pyramids that hold back the earth, and it's tiered. I think there's 3 tiers. And in each tier are flowers and plants and bushes, including rows of hydrangeas in all colors. There's one specimen hydrangea tree to the left. Even the sign, which has a stone wall around it, has been decorated with tall, I believe they're pyramidal boxwood, and some lilies. And throughout the planting, in addition to the big, large boulders, you know, holding back the earth, he added roses, spreading evergreens, spirea, wygelia, Montauk daisies, grasses, andromeda, sedum, achillea, catnip, lavender, rose of Sharon. I mean, that's just the beginning. I couldn't tell you every single plant that was in there, but something is blooming all the time, so it always looks pretty. I congratulate the Ganem law firm for taking a real mess and turning it into a real beauty.
Thank you, Pat. I'd like to thank you very much for this award. I appreciate the recognition of the hard work that went into transforming this property. I'd like to thank the committee for their hard work. And to answer your question about how those big rocks got there, my nephew went to school for landscape architecture. He's here tonight. Paul Camargi started his own business, PK Landscaping. Paul, stand up. So thank you again.
Next up. Who is it? Chris? All right, Chris.
That's what I thought I was talking about before. When you exit I-95 and you enter Stratford onto Lordship Boulevard, oftentimes your eyes feast on debris. You see some dilapidated buildings till you get to this wonderful corner property, best commercial property, Bridgeport Fittings Incorporated. In the springtime, if you were to pass, you would see us still be waving their white heads and pink heads in the foreground. Later on, you would see peonies blooming. There's an alley that you can't see right now on the left-hand side that guides the visitor into a parking area. There are mature trees that guide you into the entrance to Bridgeport Fittings, and it is surrounded by wonderful shrubs. We have hydrangeas, you have, I believe there were some azaleas, some junipers, but a wonderful welcome. I went to the wrong place at the first time to introduce myself and to say that I was nominating them, and I can't tell you how hospitable the people were at Bridgeport Fittings, guiding me in the right direction, very welcoming as they were sitting on their picnic benches having lunch. So it is my pleasure to recognize a wonderful, wonderful company that through the years I've been watching, because when this hurricane came through, trees were knocked down and they replaced them right away. So as you're driving down Lordship Boulevard, take a look in the springtime or any season. The grounds are always meticulous. There's never any debris on the ground, and the people who work there are very welcoming. So it's my pleasure to honor Bridgeport Fittings this evening. You don't have to worry, they're covered with a little bit of
The final award, the Volunteer Service Award. Let me talk a little bit about the beautiful gazebo located in Greg Ackley Park in Lordship. Micah Mazzola, an elite Eagle Scout, demonstrated leadership by organizing and carrying out an approved Eagle project for Michael. The community gazebo was his project, and he was able to acquire funds and obtain the necessary permits from the town to be able to complete his project, which is not an easy task to do, I'm sure. He received the Outstanding Service Award from the town of Stratford, and the gazebo was dedicated on April the 6th, 2013. An interesting note, the first Eagle Scout was awarded in 1912, and less than 4% of Scouts even achieved this highest honor, and Michael is now finishing his education at the University of Connecticut, completing his college degree. A special thank you, a very special thank you, certainly goes to the Lordship Improvement Association's Beautification Committee for caring for this wonderful work of art. This group is responsible for planting and maintaining the flowers that are around the gazebo and the nearby gardens. This includes purchasing, planting, mulching, weeding, and watering all the plants. A special thank you goes to this hardworking committee. This committee and Lordship also maintains 6 other gardens and is very grateful for 3 other awards that they have received from the town of Stratford's Beautification Committee. So, will Amy Sporges and Charlie Laudia, please come forward to receive the Volunteer Service Award from the Beautification Committee of Stratford. Congratulations.
Thank you for joining us this evening, but before you come up for a light refreshment and to get your sign, we would like to recognize our wonderful techie, Rita Satz, who has worked endless hours. She not only put together the program and tries to keep us focused on what we should be doing, but she also helped with the awards and make sure we get them here on time. There are boxes for all of your awards. If you would like to take one, come on up and do that. And please remember to take your sign. We appreciate all your help. We hope we see you again and that you volunteer and share your interest in gardening with others. Thank you.